Ethan Cole was the kind of man who ran his life like a boardroom, disciplined, structured, and efficient. As the CEO of a fast-growing tech company, every minute of his day was scheduled. But despite all his control, there was one thing he hadn't quite figured out: being a single father to his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. After his wife passed away 3 years ago, Ethan did everything he could to keep Lily's world stable. From private tutors to exclusive schools, he wanted the best for her, even if it meant missing a few bedtime stories or school plays. But on the first day of her new school year, a small clerical mistake by his assistant set something unexpected into motion. Instead of sending Lily to the prestigious private school he'd enrolled her in, the enrollment forms were mistakenly submitted to Greenfield Elementary, a small underfunded public school on the other side of the city. That morning, rushing through his emails and running late for a pitch meeting, Ethan didn't notice anything off. He helped Lily into her little blue backpack, kissed her forehead, and drove her to the unfamiliar school with barely a glance. "Big day today, princess," he said with a distracted smile, already half-dialed into a conference call. "You've got this." Greenfield Elementary had none of the polish he was used to. The paint was faded, the hallways narrow, and the playground simple. But there was something warm and alive about it. And it was there that Lily met Ms. Ava Bennett, a young, passionate teacher known for her imaginative teaching style and deep care for her students. Ava immediately sensed Lily didn't belong there. Her uniform was different. Her backpack still had the tag from a fancy boutique. But when Lily introduced herself, wide-eyed and curious, Ava decided not to make a scene. The office couldn't get in touch with her father right away, so she allowed Lily to spend the day in her class. And what a day it was. Lily gave a 5-minute talk about dinosaurs, her favorite thing in the world, and had the entire class roaring with laughter and questions. Ava was charmed. She saw not just intelligence, but also a spark that many of her students didn't get to show so freely. Early afternoon, Ethan finally received a call from his assistant. "Mr. Cole," she said nervously, "I made a huge mistake. Lily's at the wrong school." Ethan's heart sank. He dropped everything and drove across town, frustration building with every mile. How could this happen? When he burst into the school's front office, expecting chaos, he was instead greeted by calm. And then he saw her, Ava, standing next to Lily, who looked happier than he'd seen her in weeks. "I believe we have a little mix-up," Ava said kindly. Ethan stood there, stunned, not because of the clerical error, but because of the unexpected sense of calm that surrounded his daughter. Lily, who usually clung to his leg on school days, was now chatting animatedly with Ms. Ava Bennett, the young teacher with warm eyes and a calm, grounded presence. "I'm really sorry for the confusion," Ava said gently. "We tried contacting you earlier, but your number wasn't reachable. Lily fit in beautifully today. She's bright and very funny." Ethan looked at Lily. She beamed up at him. "Daddy, I like this school. Ms. Bennett lets us talk about dinosaurs." A part of him wanted to correct everything, to pull Lily out that very moment and rush her to the expensive school he'd carefully selected. But something stopped him. Maybe it was the way Ava knelt to Lily's level when she spoke. Maybe it was the joy in his daughter's voice, so rare since her mother had passed. After a few deep breaths and a quiet conversation with Ava, Ethan made an uncharacteristically impulsive decision. "Let's leave her here for the week, just to see how it goes." That week turned into 2, then a month. Ethan found himself visiting Greenfield Elementary more often, initially for practical reasons: progress meetings, supplies, volunteering for a science fair Lily was desperate to join. But slowly, the lines blurred. He and Ava started talking more, sometimes about Lily, sometimes about life. He learned Ava had chosen to teach at Greenfield instead of a higher-paying school because she believed underserved kids deserved passionate educators. She wasn't just smart, she was driven by heart. Ethan, in contrast, admitted he often measured success in quarterly reports and acquisition numbers. Ava challenged that. Gently, but persistently. One afternoon, as they were setting up cardboard displays for the science fair, Ava turned to him. "You know, your daughter has a brilliant mind, but what she craves most is presence. You don't have to be perfect, Ethan. Just be there." Those words stayed with him. Ethan began shifting his schedule, rescheduling meetings, letting go of late-night work calls. He picked Lily up from school himself, attended story time, even helped with crafts, badly, but wholeheartedly. With Ava's influence, he found himself becoming the father he had always wanted to be, but hadn't known how. And with each passing day, his bond with Ava deepened. It wasn't dramatic or rushed, just a series of small, sincere moments. A coffee shared after school, a walk through the playground as kids laughed in the distance, a look that lingered a little longer than expected. One evening, as Lily ran ahead toward the car, Ava turned to Ethan and smiled. "You know," she said softly, "sometimes the wrong school turns out to be the right place." Ethan looked at her, heart full in a way he hadn't felt in years. And sometimes, a simple mistake leads you exactly where you're meant to be.